This 10-minute audio guide uses mindfulness-based techniques to enable you to slow down, look at, and engage with Van Dyck's self-portrait. Mindfulness is a form of meditation that engages the senses to encourage us to notice the present moment. You are guided to stop, look, and take notice by Cathy Fortune, along with participants from Charlestown Community Primary School and mental health groups Creative Living Centre and START in Manchester. In this practice, we invite you to observe your reactions, thoughts, and emotions as you look at Van Dyck's last ever self-portrait.
Just spending some time just arriving here in your own body. So maybe feeling your feet on the floor or the weight of your body in the chair. Maybe noticing the temperature of the air on your face. And during this practice, there's no special state we have to achieve. So we're just spending time just being with whatever we notice. And what we usually notice during any mindfulness practice is that our mind wanders off elsewhere. And this is normal, it's what our minds do. And we're just going to notice this and just bring our attention back to the painting. Now, if it feels okay, maybe just gently closing your eyes for a few moments and just connecting with the sounds around us. Maybe notice the direction they come from, whether they're far or near, whether they're loud or soft. And now coming to look at the painting. Maybe having a sense of the painting coming to us rather than having to analyse it or label it. So just spending time just simply looking. And when we notice thoughts arising about who this person is, or liking or disliking this painting, or anything else, just letting them be there without getting too carried away by them, maybe just seeing them as thoughts. And as best we can, just coming back to looking. So choosing now to focus on the colours we can see.
If you look again at his face, I can see white, I can see pink, but there isn't an actual colour that I can think of that you can use directly in a palette of paint.
In the background I can see brownish and black.
You can just about tell his hair from the surrounding picture. Brown can be seen in his eyes, in his eyebrows, his moustache.
Noticing the lack of colours in the costume.
It's like a blackish blue. In the collar you can see a bit of white, and when it's like a bit shaded it looks a bit greyish, blackish.
And maybe noticing now how all of these colours are muted next to the bright gold of the frame. And if we cup our hands to make an opening that allows us to just see the image rather than the frame.
Notice the change in the light, how it reflects the skin tones of his face and his hair.
If we look through almost closed lids, the areas of light and shade become much more distinct.
Notice the colour on the forehead, how it is different to the other colours on the painting.
So notice how the light falls on this figure.
It's bright colours and the right side of the painting is darker, and then if you move to the left it gets brighter and brighter, which is one of the brightest colours on the painting.
Or maybe noticing that our mind has wandered off onto other things, maybe thoughts about what we've got to do next, whether we're getting this right or not, the sounds around us or something else. And when we notice the mind has wandered, just bringing it back to this moment and looking at the painting. Just being as patient and as gentle with our mind wandering as we can. Choosing now to focus on the lines and shapes we can see.
Some of the lines he's drawn are smooth and some of them are rough.
Just noticing which lines and shapes attract your attention.
If you look at the lines of his forehead, of his nose and cheek, it's almost like looking at a photograph, so lifelike.
Notice where these lines lead your eye.
The detail on the picture makes it feel as if you're there at that very moment.
Or maybe letting the eye explore the different lines that we can see in the frame.
It's got like all different swirls and patterns on it.
It's very unusual. Focus on the two eyes at the top of the frame. To me, they look like boars' heads. Make your eyes go to the bottom of the frame, where there is another creature.
It's got like kind of like a dragon on it.
I think it has wings.
And if we notice our heads becoming busy with lots of thoughts, just spending a moment to connect back with our own body sat here, our feet on the floor, our weight in the chair. And maybe just closing our eyes for the next couple of breaths. Now as we open our eyes again, just noticing how the figure is placed in the frame.
He appears to be looking down at you.
The tip of the head, the way he's looking, there's a touch of mischief there and a touch of wit.
So when you stand closer to the portrait, looking at the eye that is in full shot, the bottom corner of his eye has a slight white blob, and this gives the appearance of a twinkle. It gives it a bit of character. It brings a little humour to his face.
There's an interesting similarity in how we tend to be aware of our own bodies. There's lots of detail and attention in our heads and our thoughts, and often only a rough or vague sense of the body that carries our heads around all day. So as we move towards the end of this short practice, let's connect to our own bodies and notice how we are holding them. So what's our posture like? How is the head balanced on the neck? How are we holding our shoulders? What facial expression are we wearing? And if it feels okay for you to do so, just mirroring the pose that you see in this painting. Maybe slightly turning your upper body to the right, looking over your left shoulder, holding your head in an upright and dignified posture. Just noticing what it's like to hold the gaze of this figure for a few moments before bringing this practice to a close.